Right. Thank you very much for joining today's session. This is session number 3, is it? LO3 today, and we are going to be dealing with customer relationship management, CRM, for level 5 course. And we'll be looking at LO3. And LO3 is to look at the teamwork, importance of teamwork in the context of managing customer relationships. Okay, so we'll be looking at the customer relationship in terms of the teamwork today. Okay, yesterday we looked at LO2, and do you remember anything what we looked at yesterday?
The process of customer decision making.
Okay, people's decision making, or creating CRM, maintaining CRM, customer relationship management, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do we maintain that customer relationship, and why is it important? Do you remember? Why do we need to create customer relationship? Of course, it's very important. What do you think? Did you do some reading?
No.
Or did you went over your notes? No.
Yeah, I went over the notes, but
okay. But out of your head, why is it important to create good, customer relationship? For example, why do you need to
improve the business?
Yes, to get the repeat business, right?
Yeah.
Right. So to get the repeat business, to make sure that customers know about your business, so they will inquire about your business. And how do they inquire about your business? Is through websites, for example, through their friends, through publicity, through newspapers, through adverts, right? And feedbacks, reviews. So they will read reviews, they'll look at the feedback. And how do you know it's a positive or negative? And how do you know the results are positive? It depends on they coming back, right? Or inquiries, or the number of bookings and so on. So it all so this is why it's important. CRM is very important to maintain CRM so that we can maintain our business, we can develop new businesses, we can develop our strategy according to the behavior of our customers, and so on. So the LO3 today, that continues the theme with LO3, and this today's theme will work on the teamwork. All right. So do you know anything about the teamwork? What does it mean by teamwork?
That everyone support to contribute to solve problems in the business.
Right. Okay. So everybody who works in an organization work as a team. All right. Work as a one. So what's a team? People coming together. Why? People come together just to have a cup of tea?
No.
Or to do what?
Improve sales and solve.
To improve sales, not necessarily, not only sales, but generally when we talk about the teams, people come together to for a purpose, to achieve some kind of objective, to make sure that you achieve your objective. So for example, when you are in a team, in a football team, what's the objective?
Winning.
To win, right? And if they are if many people, 11 people gather over a cup of tea, is that a team? No, that's not a team. So team has a clear objectives, and the one just gathering of people just for the purpose of having a cup of tea, that's not a team, because they have gone to come together to in a group just to have a leisure time, just to have spend with the gossip and so on, right? So the objective is not there. Maybe objective is just to have a cup of tea or have a good time, but it's not related to the objective as we mean by achieving an objective, correct? So there are informal groups and there are formal groups. Formal groups are coming into teams. They form into teams because they have some kind of objective to achieve. And specifically in organization, when we talk about teams, in organizations, we mean that people come together to achieve some kind of goal. They have aim. They have to fulfill an objective, right, to succeed, correct?
Yeah.
Cricket team, for example, football team. You have work in IT team, for example, or HR team. People work in teams in organizations. So they have some objectives. They have some characteristics. They are there to do something specifically. So today we'll be looking at the teams, right? And the first learning criteria, we'll be looking at the characteristics of effective teams. Okay. So secondly, we'll be looking at the importance of teams as far as they are concerned in a tourism and hospitality business. Okay. And the third and final thing, or third and final objective of our lesson is to look at how we can promote teamwork in organizations specifically related to tourism and hospitality. Okay, so these are the three objectives. These are the three things we need to cover today. All right, so let's start with the teamwork. Okay, what do we need to cover? What do we need to look at when we're talking about the teams? Okay, we need to look at the team. We need to define the team roles. What is the effective teamwork? How are they related to organizations? How they're related to particular situations, right? Are they relating? How do they work in organization? How do we look at the teams? What are the teams? How do we manage teams? How do we check whether this team is working better than the other team? How do we compare them, right? How do we monitor their assessment? And what are the objectives related to customer service in the area of responsibility? How people communicate in organizations when they're talking about teams? How do they, how do we talk to each other and look at the teamwork? And if, we look at the communication channels they use in teamwork. Okay, so the key things we need to cover is these things, right? So this is the content we need to cover. The key terminology is looking at the teamwork. For example, you should know what a key role is of a teamwork. What do we mean by teamwork, right? What's the skills, what type of support, problem solving, and so on. So we need to look at these things in their entirety, okay? So there are many terminologies: teamwork, support, problem solving, responsiveness, right? Pressure, knowledge sharing, for example, personalization, adaptability, training, continuous development progress, or CPD, or improvement, good, strong relationship, building relationships, high volume situations, and so on. So these are some kind of words you will be using when we're talking about teamwork in the content of managing customer relationship. Okay. Now, diverse skills, people come together, they have different skills, correct? They have academic skills, they have practical skills, they have analytical skills, they have computer skills, IT skills. People have a range of problem solving skills and so on. So they come together. So this is the diverse terminology, skills. A lot of people have different skills, so they come together, different backgrounds, different upbringing, different culture, different moods, and so on. So, and they bring different cultural values and skills. So they get together with a common objective, right? So they bring a lot of skills together, languages, and so on. support, and they support each other. They provide a, cover for each other. When somebody's sick, for example, one member of my team is sick today, so somebody else from the team will cover. All right. But if you're sick, when people get together for a cup of tea and somebody's sick, they're probably telling to go home and have a rest. They're not going to cover that particular person's because it's not a team. They don't have anything. So support is there. Problem solving or collaborative problem solving is somebody's have an issue, then they'll ask for other people's help. Maybe they'll have a different perspective, maybe different brain or different angle. They'll try and help that particular person and give a particular response, positive response. Okay, so the problem is solved quicker and quickly and very effectively. Okay, and they share pressure, of course. By workload pressure is people always have a lot of things to do in a workplace, and if somebody can't achieve things very quickly, then maybe they'll ask the person, can you help us to do this, please? Correct? Yeah, so they'll share the workload because they are, everybody's work depends on each other. If one person's lacking, then the other will be sitting around and doing nothing, and the third will be not doing anything. So because it's connected, all the activities are connected one upon the other. It's like a process. And if one process breaks down, then all people will be suffering. So therefore, it's very important. And when we're talking about work, load pressure, and something's not working, or something's broken down, or some person's not doing a very quick job, then the other person will pick up and help him, and it'll give a good relationship, teamwork, objectives are sorted, and sharing knowledge, and people will uplift each other. All right, so these are the things that you need to know. And so continuously employment. So let's look at this first of all. Let's watch a YouTube. What is teamwork? Why is it important? What does it do? And what's the reasons? So let's bear with us. Okay, I'm just going to play this. I'm just going to put this subtitles on. Okay. And you can make notes if you want about this teamwork, the power of teamwork. Can you hear okay?
Can you little bit volume up?
Can I raise the voice? I think this is the maximum I can raise.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
Powerful is teamwork. Great. We really ask that question. Who defines the
I can't. This is 100%.
Okay.
Stop and think about this and realize that every team that accomplished the untouchable, every team that got out there, every team that done what had never been done.
See, this is a football team, isn't it? Everybody's running with, fever. Everybody's running one behind this, just one football, yeah?
Yeah.
And they had to break through that invisible line. All had to do it. Through that group of incredibly talented people bumping up against each other, having arguments, having fights sometimes, making some noise, and working together, they polish each other. And they polish the ideas, and what comes out are these really beautiful stones. There's no other way to get through other than challenging your fears. Because in order for teamwork to be at its highest potential, everyone's got to have something on the line. Otherwise, you're only partway in. At the end of the day, you're going to need to trust those around you. To fully trust. This is about us. And you can count on me. Think about New Zealand, this country with under 5 million people. And they have the best rugby team in the world. The All Blacks. Consistently the best in the world.
Wow.
Or the Apollo mission. A group of people saying, we hear you.
We've got, and all of our talents are on the line to get you home. That's teamwork. Think about the Beatles. All of that music that we know of it, all of it, was made in about 8 years. Just 8 years. They were that incredible as a team. Great teams, I mean, they're not about individuals melting into the team. That's the mistake. People hear about the power of teamwork, and they think it's about losing yourself to the singular goal. They think it's about fully giving in to something bigger than you. You don't lose yourself. Great teammates, they don't lose themselves. They stand up. They say, I'm here. They choose to be in, and they choose to play their unique part. That's how it is. So then what's the breakthrough? What did those teams do to unlock the full power of teamwork? You know, that's the hard part. You can't see the edge. You actually don't know where it is until you cross over and look back and see where it was. That's why it's always easier. I mean, it's always easier to catch up than it is to raise the bar. Because the team that broke through, they marked the line. And now everyone else, they just need to get over that mark. The Patriots, Belichick, Brady, I mean, what they've been doing is so unbelievable because they keep raising it. They keep nudging it high. Even if people catch up, it's too late. You know, Steve Jobs and Apple.
For the first time ever, I'd like to let Macintosh speak for itself.
They were operating in this abyss. I mean, they were out there in this vast unknown. So instead of breaking through, instead of seeing the line, you have to forget the line. It's just another limit. The marker in great teams is never extreme. Because you're out in this unknown. You're out in this unmapped territory. So instead, the power of teamwork comes from a belief, comes from a mindset. We can't get satisfied by the break. We can celebrate them. We should celebrate them. We can't be satisfied by the
Can I
break.
just stop it there then?
That's what about.
Okay. Lani?
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop it there. So you get the point? Did you get the point of a teamwork? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the main thing is we need to look at the teamwork because it's, where's it gone? I think, where's it gone? Okay. So the main thing is we know that the teamwork works, right? So the teamwork is are people coming together with one objective to achieve something in common goal, and that's how we can become strong, and that's how we can perform good. That's how we enhance our performance. That's how we become best. Okay, so this is how we can become best is to be efficient, to be effective, to look at the customer from our point of view, and we make sure that we are doing what we need to do. Okay, so there are standards, there are relationships we can build upon, there are a teamwork. Now, this teamwork is basically built on a model called the Tuchman's model. All right, have you heard of Tuchman? Dr. Bruce Tuchman. He developed this model of teamwork long ago, right? And this is known as the stages of team development. People come together and people form into teams, and they, you know, look at what they need to do. If you have time, you can look at the team building model by Bruce Tuchman model, 5 stages or 6 stages of model. Okay. Then, you know, Dr. Belbin's model, it has 9 different team roles, right? There are team roles. So if you go and search Dr. Belbin's model on, you know, a team building, and they'll describe certain roles of teams, right? Some people are practical, some people are academic, some people like doing, you know, other work. And some people want to just theoretical, some people are practical, some people are academic, some people are applying things. So there, he designed different roles, nine roles. Okay, so you can look at them. Okay. Now let's watch another YouTube film, and this is about the service delivery and about teamwork again, and how we can become better, effective service. So just let's watch this a couple of minutes.
If not, stick around as I outline it for you. We know that just after one negative experience, 51% of customers will never do business with that company again. That's why the first step in proper service recovery is ensuring every team member is aligned with how to effectively resolve problematic issues. And this can easily be accomplished by defining exactly what effective service recovery should look, sound, and feel, so there is no confusion. So when a customer comes to us with an issue that they need resolved, it's important that we look approachable, especially in our body language. No folded arms, which tends to give the impression that we don't want to be bothered. We should also demonstrate what we call active listening, periodically nodding our head as the customer is explaining the issue to show that we are interested and attentive. Also, it's important that we demonstrate a sense of urgency by taking ownership in resolving the issue. And how should we sound in resolving problematic issues? Well, it's important that we use words and phrases that convey compassion and empathy. We might say something like, I apologize for the inconvenience, or we might simply say, I'm so sorry. Let me see what I can do to help. Keep in mind, when we genuinely respond with words and phrases that convey empathy and compassion, it has a tendency to immediately calm upset customers. And after you've listened, demonstrated empathy, and resolved the issue for our customers, how should they walk away feeling? Well, the answer is valued, listened to, respected, that they are not to blame, and confident that we will resolve their issue in a timely manner. In closing, remember, customers don't expect us to be perfect, but they do expect us to fix things when they go wrong.
Okay. So the effective service delivery is very important, i.e. what it means then when we are dealing with, especially when we're dealing with people, we should be very polite, we should listen to them, we should try and sympathize with our customers, and we are interested in their issues so that we have to solve these issues. And when they walk from us, when they walk away from us, they should be happy, they should give us, a clap, or they should really appreciate our help in solving their issues, right? After all, nobody is perfect, but at least if you are going forward to helping them, that's much more better than not listening, not helping them at all. Okay, so this is why when we are talking about the customer relationship, when we're talking about the teamwork, so everybody knows their job, everybody knows how to handle particular issues, everybody knows what to do generally. Correct? Okay, so that leads us to looking at the characteristics of effective team, and the 3.1 specifically looks at the characteristics of effective teams. Now, what are effective teams? Means the teams should be able to do things, right? They should be able to effectively carry out their duties. They should be carrying out their proper things that they have been allocated. So we're looking at the effective teams, not just the teams, but effective. They've got to be effective. So in order to be effective, we need to be sure that we have a good leadership, though. So the leader will direct the team what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what type of a plan they have. Yeah, when there is a problem, what the issue is going to be and how to resolve those issues. Correct? And this leadership tells you how to remain maybe calm and cool and motivated and focused and achieving the goal, right? Sets the expectations and everything. Yeah. So he is a person who, or she is a person who leads the team by motivating, setting an example. All right. To do things. So effective teams should be able to follow that and achieve their objectives. Correct?
Yeah.
All right. So effective and strong leadership is very important as ever, anywhere else. Okay. Then we should have this person should set us a clear goal. Everybody knows what they need to be achieved. We should know what our targets are, what our duties are, what are our objectives in line with your organizational objectives. So if the organizational objectives are to grow and prosper and to achieve some kind of sales target over the next week or month or year, and this is forming into a plan, i.e. growth plan, then of course we should have sub plans in the teams and how we can achieve and feed into that plan, into a bigger plan. So clear objectives and clear goals. Communication, open communication, two-way communication, honest communication. Communication should flow from bottom upwards and from upwards to the bottom of the communication line. Yeah. So everybody should be clear what they're going to talk about, what should we do, what should we need to do when we are in problems, or what's the expectation. So the communication should be very focused, should be very clear, should be honest, should be open. So that will promote teamwork. That will make people become better decision makers. That will people will come when you have a good communication. But if there is no communication, then it's a problem, of course, right? Effective teams should have a different different temperaments, but they come together with variety of skills and variety of experiences and expertise, but with the achieving of one objective is to complete the challenge, right? So people become together to form a team so that they achieve the objectives of the organization. That's the most important and challenging objective. And so it's very important that people will have or they should have a clear line of responsibilities and roles and who's doing what, to avoid duplication, to avoid confusion, to avoid conflicts, to avoid miscommunication, right? And so on. So these characteristics of effective teams will lead to better results. We should all respect each other. We should all try and resolve issues, try and resolve conflict, disagreements, open dialogue, open communication, resolve disagreements. Effective teams are accountable, i.e. if you make a mistake, okay, admit that you have made a mistake and then put it right, okay? And if somebody doesn't admit mistakes, then of course the team is suffering and everybody else will be pinpointing to you. Yeah, because then it will be a demotivating for the whole team, and then punishments will come. So therefore, if you've made a mistake, okay, admit it and then put it right, and then you'll be appreciated rather than being punished or maybe pinpointing or being held responsible. Correct? Okay. So accountable and responsible. Being responsible goes hand in hand with accountability and adaptability and flexibility, i.e. you should team members should be adaptable to new situations, to new developments, to new information, so they can become aware of what's going on around there and in the teams, because the changes takes place all the time, internally, externally, factors, political factors. People are changing, people are coming, people are going into the organizations. Everybody's because everybody has different things to do in different departments, and the organization doesn't stay static. They're always changing. So we should have we should be adaptable to changes, new methods of working, for example, new skills, new technologies, new ways of working, new people coming, new training manuals, new training relationships, new methods of doing the same thing effectively, new ways of communication. We used to write letters before. Now we write, emails. We don't write letters. Yeah? There used to be a time when people used word processor to write letters. Now use email, word processor to write emails rather than putting on a paper and printing. No, we can print this technology with a few, but we write a small, effective, faster communication by email and send it off rather than waiting for the post to go through, writing letters, somebody's typing, somebody's dictating, get a piece of pen or whatever, then send them off to post office for franking machine to take postage. That takes a long time to reach to its destination. Now, effectively, instantly enough, we can communicate. So we should be able to do that quickly and flexibility. Okay. Another effective teams, they share responsibility for success and failure. They admit their failures and they take the credit for success, of course. And this, fosters a good relationship, right, in teams. And it's very important to admit mistakes and improve, because you are always improving and prone to changes, so that your performance gets better if you admit mistakes and just doesn't stagnate. Okay. And overall, the effective teams are there to create a good atmosphere, friendly atmosphere. When you have a good atmosphere, then you will celebrate your success, then you will relook at your failures and move forward. Yeah. So people should appreciate teamwork. Very important thing. So teamwork, work in organizations. Nowadays, every organization has teams. People have to work in teams without their choice. Yeah, they have no choice. They will be allocated into teams. Now there are many different teams, and there are different groups. Some people will form into quality circles, some people will form into IT teams, some people will have learning teams, for example, and accounting and finance team and personnel team and HR team. So they're all there with one objective, because they have to have a effective and good relationship and communication, right? And they are responsible for their own teamwork. Okay. So all in all, we should create an atmosphere of friendliness and flexible and adaptable and continuous improvement. So we should come together with an open mind. We should come together with open mind and better communication, and with good leadership that can, enhance the team's ability to work is very important. Okay. And when you successful as a team member, of course, everybody wins and the organization wins, and you are rewarded accordingly. So 3.1 is basically, we looked at is the characteristics of effective teams are, they should be adaptable, they should be accountable, and they should be positive atmosphere. They should take a responsibility for failure and success and so on. So there are many, there's not end in itself. You can go on and on what counts as effective teams, right? But it's very important when we are in organization, we should have a good working relationship we should have a good characteristics of effective teams. It says describe the characteristics. So you can, there's many characteristics of effective teams, right? So like moving on to the importance of these teams as far as the tourism and hospitality trade is concerned. Of course, I mean, like any other organization, like any other thing, teamwork is very important for enhancing the relationship, enhancing the business, specifically so when we are talking about the human nature of work in tourism. Everybody every day deals with these people all the time. So the effective team work is very important to the smooth running of the business, to smooth running of the functions within the hospitality trade, because people will work in different departments, and so therefore one department is relying upon the other department. They're all connected, they're all interconnected, and for all interconnection, if we should have a smooth running, and if there is a breakdown of communication, or if there is a breakdown in one department, that affects the running of the operations throughout. In the hotel and hospitality trade, and any other organization is the same. So if your computer breaks down, then of course the accounting people can't run their accounts, and the sales people can't update their sales budget, and HR can't access their personnel records, right? And the production cannot see what their targets are, correct? And so on and so forth. So one department is interconnected with the other department. So if if hotel kitchen, or if the materials are not there, for making food, then of course the kitchen will not be serving food to the restaurant. The restaurants, people will not be calling their guests. So the guests will be, of course, overloaded in rooms, and so it'll, they'll be complaining, they'll be overloading the reception area, and the reception will also have an emergency problems, because two people gathering in all the reception complaining, and the telephone lines and so on will be jammed about. So everything will be upset. So it's very important that we work together to achieve our operations. Okay, we should be, of course, flexible. Of course, why is it important in the tourism industry? Effective teamwork is very important in the tourism industry, because to run the smooth operations. Secondly, it'll enhance the customer service. Okay, if one things break down, then of course it'll give you a bad review. It'll give you a bad recommendation. If your service is bad, of course people will complain about the organization, about the hotel, for example, and then reviews and feedback, and word of mouth will spread and affected your business. Okay, so the enhanced customer service is very important. Flexibility and adaptability, which means you should be flexible in terms of your changes in demand. For example, seasonal demand. For example, when it's summer, a lot of people will inflow to the hotels or catering business, or to the resorts, or to the seaside, and one should really, if the demand surges, therefore you should be able to have some kind of plans in order to meet those challenges. You should be adaptable to the situation. You should be able to provide the similar or same quality of service as you would do in your normal circumstances, right? So there's no excuse when the people surge in numbers. You do not give them the quality of service they are expected. No, provide the same or similar level of quality of service, because you should be adaptable and prone to changes all the time. Again, problem solving and innovation, i.e. problem solving, it's very important that your members come together with different ideas. You should be creative, you should be innovative, you should have some different suggestions from different people how to solve one issue, right? And pick the best out of them. So the sharing of ideas, continuing improvement, suggesting solutions, different angles, different ideas from different people, improves the service, improves the quality, improves the morale, improves the standard of service that one is expected to give, of course, right? Motivation, it motivates people, because if you're valued, if you're giving some kind of a solution, you are also motivated, and your motivation is an uplift to the team. right? It'll give them a positive boost into their morale. It's a positive relationship, and morale and the motivation will be increased. Of course, if you are motivated to work, and you will stay longer with the organization, i.e. retention rate, labor turnover will reduce, i.e. people will be staying longer in the same position or in the same job or with the same organization, and they'll stay longer rather than moving into different jobs to different organizations, quickly. So labor turnover, slows down when people are valued, when people's morale is up, when people are, taken seriously, when they are contributing more to the organization's success. Okay. Then, of course, effective teamwork is important to the tourism industry, in the sense that it'll be helpful in resolving conflicts, and it'll be having a good communication, making sure that you can address all these conflicts in a particular manner, in a positive manner, to minimize problems, to minimize future impacts on teams, or these problems or these issues stay within the control of the team rather than getting out of the hand of the teams. So this is very important when we want to get the results, and effective teams always try and resolve the issues within the team rather than going to the boss. They'll make sure that the team is able to solve their issues themselves, right? Rather than complaining to the manager or general manager, and then they intervene, and then it's doesn't follow the good impression. Okay. Effective teams are important as well as to the team and to the work when they are doing different skills, i.e. skills development and training and innovation, and supporting each other and contributing to the decision making of the organization. So training and skills development is very important in supporting teams. Okay, and that will enhance the reputation of your department, reputation of your team. Okay, and lastly, brand reputation, i.e. brand reputation means your teamwork should continue to provide a service, right? Constant service or proper service, or a same standard of service, because it's important that people come and experience positive experiences, when the guests are there in a particular organization. So if you're talking about intercontinental continental hotels, for example, or Radisson Hotel, people expect they have a brand image, they have a standard of service, they have a new experiences. So people will experience different positive experiences when they stay in these kind of hotels, because they have an image. And if the image falls down, or if the image is not met, then of course they will suffer, right? So the brand image suffers as a result of one person or one team. So that shouldn't really happen. Okay, so the tourism industry relies on these images, relies on these reputation and feedbacks, and teamwork can contribute positively to constantly deliver high standard of service. Okay, so in conclusion, we are saying that effective teamwork is very important in the tourism industry, because it leads to challenges, it leads to brand reputation, it leads to better service. Most important is that it leads to a competitive market, and should provide experiences that people can remember and come back again and again. Okay. Section 3, or the third element that we need to discuss is how managers can promote teamwork within their responsibility, and how they can promote effective teamwork in the tourism industry. So the managers are very important people, and they should be promoting effective teamwork in the hospitality trade by doing things that are very crucial to the industry. They should have a clear line of communication. They should have clear line of responsibilities. They should lay down clear roles and responsibilities and goal setting. Okay, the managers should do regular meeting with these workers, with their workers, to make sure that the these goals are achieved. They are smart goals. They are you understand the SMART goals, yeah?
Mhm.
SMART goals means they should be very specific or short, specific. They should be measurable, achievable, reviewable, and time-bound targets, i.e. people should know what they're doing, and people should be very clear, very target-oriented, and they should be achieved. And if they can't achieve, then the team members or the team managers should remind and do the things that they need to do in order to effectively meet these targets and so on. Okay, so managers must lay down these foundations. They can, if the team is lacking, they should be able to create some kind of training manuals. They should be able to kind of training activities for their members to achieve these targets. Okay, continuous development, proper environment, supportive environment, open environment, communication lines are very important. Respect, culture, inclusive. Everybody should be respected. Everyone should be respected. Conflict resolution, recognition, reward. People should be rewarded for their achievement, because they will get a boost in their performance. Okay. Diversity and inclusivity means people are different. Everybody's has different brains. Everybody has different skills. Everybody comes from different culture. Everybody talks different language, maybe, right? They have but they have also equally, they have different inputs. They have different problem solving skills, and everybody should be respected. They should get valued. Okay, inclusive, so no discrimination in terms of sex discrimination or disability or gender issues or name calling or religious issues, right? Everybody should be treated equally in terms of their in terms of respect, in terms of religion, race, gender, disability, whatever, right? So effective teams are very important when they have all these, okay? And so you can have all the other things that we have discussed. Effective teams should be empowered. They should have regular feedback, communication, diversity. They should have different activities and so on. Okay, so I don't need to elaborate and carry on with a similar type of things. Now, what you could do is you can read these notes. You can read and research on creating how different teams can be created by hospitality managers as effective teams, right? So effective teams, they are, we've explained them, the characteristics and how teams can be formed and what should they do and what should not. Very straightforward and very easy how you can become involved in creating a good team. And you can, as managers, you can promote teams by being clear, by being effective, by creating smart objectives, collaborative, providing training, providing reward and recognition, by empowering them, by including giving them different activities and so on. Okay, so there are lots of activities that you can do to build up positive relationship between yourselves. And leading by example is the most important thing, because when managers want to make their teams effective, they should lead, they should set examples for effective teamwork through their own behavior and becoming a model for them. Okay, no good, we know these principles, but unless team leaders, unless team managers can show a positive example for themselves, then they cannot expect others to follow suit, right? So they should be the people who should lead the team by setting examples, okay, and improving the team's ability to achieve things. All right. So we've discussed three assessment criteria in these teams and how they become better and how they can be led by examples. And okay, so today's lesson been very straightforward, and we looked at a theory like Tuchman's and Belbin's. So I asked you to look at the theories of Belbin and look at the theories of Tuchman's model of team behavior and teamwork. Okay, by looking at different resources. Okay, there are books on e-books on effective teamwork, right? And you can go to your Moodle account and get some books on reading these. Look at the Tuchman's model, research on Belbin's model by going through the Google research or Scholar, right? Books are there on your model, and you can see what the customer relationship and the effective team can do in that. Okay. Are we okay on this? So what we done today, we completed the LO3, i.e. the importance of teamwork. Okay. I'm sure you must have done teamwork in other subjects as well, or you haven't done it yet?
No.
No.
Not.
Okay. So you know something about teamwork now. All right. When we reconvene next week, we will be looking at LO4, and then we'll discuss your assignment on the 22nd of August. All right. Then you'll have a time to review and afterwards submit the assignment. All right.
Okay.
Any question so far? Anything that's bothering you or not clear or
No.
confusing? Pretty straightforward, very, very straightforward topic, teamwork and the reasons for effective teams and what are teams and both can they become better and what should managers to do in order to create good teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Thulani.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
You
We'll
too.
speak to you soon.
Have
Okay.
a good day. Bye.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.